Good day. Today, I'm going to go with my wife to go visit the Lady Hotung Welfare Center. The Lady Hotung Welfare Center is located in the Hotung area. It was built by the government in between 1932 to 1933, became operational in 1934. The land which this is on was donated by Sir Robert Hotung. It was named in honor of his first wife, Lady Margaret, or Mak Sao Ying, and this was used as a maternity ward for the local residents. From approximately 1934, it served as a maternity ward for the locals in the area and also as a sanatorium for Indian soldiers. I believe 1973, a specialized hospital ward for sick members of the police force that was stationed in the new territories was built. So it also was used for them. The buildings themselves, you have a main building, you have a bungalow, and we will walk through that when I get to the property. And latrine was also built there. So it has now been turned into somewhat of an educational program whereby primary school, first graders, and kindergarten students can go there and learn how to protect the environment, how to actually grow rice. There's a lemon tree, there's lychee, there's mulberry trees. So you can learn about silk and silkworms, which was a very strong interest of Lady Margaret. In fact, it was such a strong interest, during her time, she brought her techniques and the products that she grew on the Hotung New Territory farms to England, and it made a big splash at the British Wembley exhibition. The Lady Hotung Clinic was in operation up until 2005, and it was at that time that it would become a historic property, and it's now protected by the government. And not only is it beneficial as to preserving the environment and teaching about environment and nature, it's also now a historic site, which ensures that it'll be here forever, or at least a very, very long time. All right, thank you. Now, we're gonna go take a ride and get over there. Cheers. Good morning. Today I'm here with Mary, my wife, at the Lady Hotung Welfare Center. This center was actually put into operation in 1934, although the project was started in 1932-33. Sir Robert Hotung owned all this land, and he donated it, and his wife, Lady Margaret, actually wanted to establish this welfare center or clinic, as it was known in those days, to help out the local villagers in this area. At the beginning, it was a maternity ward and also where you could come and get consult a doctor and get medicines. And then after World War II, it in essence turned into, it continued to do that, and at the same time turned into a sanatorium for the Indian people in the neighborhood. And then when we come to the 1970s, added another purpose, which was to help the police.
Yes.
Police people who were sick, and they could come here and get taken care of.
47 wards for the policemen, right? And also for the Indian soldiers at one time. Now, I noticed something. You see the name Hotung. It says Lady Hotung Welfare Center. You realize that Hotung is not linked together like your last name now. It's Hotung. So there is another story why your last name now is Hotung instead of Ho. You see? And then there's another thing you can notice is if you look at the Chinese version, it says Mak Fu Yan. You see? In here, Hotung Mak Fu Yan Yi Guan in Chinese, it says Lady Mag.
Yes.
So it's Mak Sao Ying. So, but we all know that you have two grandmothers.
Yes.
One is Lady Mag, and the other one was Lady Clara. They call her, maybe you can call her Lady Zhang. So this is the grandmother, your great-grandfather's, your great-grandmother, I should say, your great-grandmother's first wife. The first wife, but she did not produce any children.
Yes.
So she's very loving. You can see this is a maternity ward for people to give birth to children. But ironically, she herself did not bear any child.
Well, that might have been one of the reasons she set it up. So Lady Mac would actually be Lady Margaret.
Yes.
And in her will, when she passed, she actually left money for approximately 9 charitable organizations, and this one was the top of the list. And those monies were actually fully used for good benefit to, I believe, renovate this place at that time.
You are right. A lot of people talked about the will of Sir Robert. Even, for the closer generation, your grandfather, Edward Hotung. But less people talk about the will of Lady Margaret. And this is what we are doing now. And let's go for a tour.
Okay, let's go for a tour. When you would come in to the clinic, this area used to have a wall, and the doctor would be here. So the doctor's consultation would take place here. You can tell by the floor, I don't know if you can get that shot on the floor, where the line used to be for the wall. And of course, there's another fireplace.
Sean, this is a little bit tight in here. Why don't you go to the maternity ward and see the other one?
Okay.
I'll follow you. You go first.
All right. Basically, these fireplaces had this type of green tile surrounding it. They have wooden mantles from the old days. And the shaft, obviously, would be right here. No draft, so they must have sealed it.
They must have something in the front before to shield it.
You would think, but I can't say for sure. If you're just very careful, you can still get away with it, okay? But you would think there was, I don't know, maybe a little fence.
This was a heater in those days when you didn't have,
And remember, we're in the New Territories, where it's very hilly. This is the northern part of Hong Kong.
1957. It's all about the newborn kid. This was how it looked before.
Here's the maternity ward. Obviously, this is where all the little babies are made. So I imagine Lady Margaret must have been happy that her idea and her charitable donation was bringing joy to many mothers in this area. Today, it appears to be a learning area for little children. These are very small seats.
You should look at this. Sean, you come over. This is ceramic. This is original. This was here from the beginning. You see, this one is Sir Robert's, and the other one was Lady Margaret's.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, Ho Sai Lai donated this and that, and made sure it was put there in honor of mainly Lady Margaret.
I see.
Yes. This is called the dressing room. This is not a place where females come and change their clothes, all right? Dressing as in medical dressings. So this was later turned into a dispensary, and today, the numerous beetles that are in the area. This was a medical place before. So this is turned into a learning area, a learning device for the kids in the area. Okay, so the medicine would be distributed from here. And before that, the dressing room. This is where you use bindings to bind wounds, sores, things like that.
You look at these original doors. Now, this is the operation room where the mother literally pushed the kid out, is in this room with a lot of privacies. And this room is, of course, connected to the next room, which was the maternity ward, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is where they actually did their labor and had the birth.
Yeah.
You see, they put this nice metal here before, the second metal. There's actually 2 screens. One is this screen. That'll stop the mosquitoes. But they don't make it like this anymore. They don't have this heavier...
You know why? Because this will strengthen it.
Yes.
It's more durable.
Yes.
And this is for mosquitoes.
Yes.
Just now, remember your cameraman was asking us, oh, this must be to filter the germs. No, you think too much. This is just a mosquito net. But you see the way they made it. You see, in the colonial time, there was a lot of things that is like this. The chairs in the church, remember the rattan chair is also like this kind. The pattern is very much the same.
Yeah.
Look at the joints. Look at this. These are all original.
Yeah.
You know, for antique lovers, look at this.
Yeah.
You see, you open it, you can see it moves. It moves from here. You see, it is sliding open more. You see this? You don't make this anymore. And there's a little roller in there. Very clever. This is Lady Margaret.
Yes, that is Lady Margaret.
Yeah, this is her in her Chinese costume. Was she from the McLean family?
Yes, she's from the McLean farm. Hector Cole McLean.
Related to Lane Crawford?
I think so. So she had an experimental farm in this area that actually produced a lot of things that was then exhibited in Wembley,
I know.
in the British Empire.
You know,
that, yeah?
I'm a big collector of the Wimbledon. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, Wembley.
A Wembley industrial exhibition.
Yes.
I collected a lot of original items, and I also have a lot of postcards. Yeah, that was the Silk Farm postcards. And I try to go back to the villages and ask if they recognize any of them as their ancestral grandmothers. Were not very fruitful, but look at the costume. You see, it was so beautiful, and I think our family still keep some sets of these clothes.
That's right. We have a couple hanging very nicely.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Let's go and take a look.
Okay.
Look at this old picture.
Yes. So this is actually great. If you actually look closely, you'll find some neat things. Like, for example, you see these elephant statues, which I believe ended up with my father, and you see how they put the pot of plant on top of it. In a way that got lost with my father because the pots stood separately. But anyway, this is a very famous picture because you have George Bernard Shaw here. And of course, that's Sir Robert and General Ho Sai Lai, Lady Margaret, that's Lady Townsend, and that's Mr. Simpson.
Wow, very good memory of yours. Well, you realize actually in this place here, all of the pictures are related to Lady Margaret.
Yes.
And there's no Lady Clara.
I haven't seen any yet.
Because this place and the related experimental farm and Hotung is more closely related to Ho Sai Lai and Lady Margaret.
Yes, that's right. So Ho Sai Lai was very close to Lady Margaret, more close to her.
Her own mother.
Than his own mother.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they actually had a very good personal relationship. And Ho Sai Lai would always help out Lady Margaret.
Well, there's actually a lot of story behind this. And why did Ho Sai Lai, being so distant from his own mother, but to Lady Clara, and built a lot of memorial places for Lady Margaret instead of his own mother?
Yes.
So there's a lot of sweet and sour in the family. Maybe in time you can tell us the story.
In time, not today.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Wow, Bernard Shaw, huh? Oh yeah, there was a picture I remember with Sir Robert and Bernard Shaw. They exchanged their clothes or something, and
they were in cheongsam.
Yeah.
Bernard Shaw got dressed up in a Chinese cheongsam.
You know why?
Tell me.
Because a lot of people think that they look alike. Bernard Shaw and Sir Robert Hotung, they look very much alike, and some people believe that, some people commented, you guys look like twins. So why don't you, Bernard, dress in Chinese clothes and you take a picture together? And it did come out like twins.
I see. Well, when he has his beard, they do look alike.
They look alike.
So, but I didn't know that story.
Yeah, and when Sir Robert went to England, he always took a trip to the south to visit Bernard. Remember? We were there.
Yes.
And somebody told us the story there.
That's right. Yeah, the south as in Devon and Cornwall.
Right.
So we were there. Although he also spent time in Sussex and obviously England. London. Sorry, in London.
Well, let's go and explore more.
All right.
Okay.
I'll follow you. Lead the way. Okay? All right. Yeah, I don't think I'll join you. I don't know if this can hold my weight.
It's it. Try.
Yeah?
Slowly. Don't jump on it.
All right. Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay.
Well, anyway, it's quite meaningful that they still keep they put a mulberry tree here to memorize.
That is very meaningful. And you got to like the way they're keeping the roofs here, the Chinese style architect.
It's quite a lot of work to maintain it.
And we're now coming into the bungalow, which is connected to the main building. But if you follow me over here, we'll go into the doctor's quarters. So the doctor would live here, and you'll see, even though it's a small, tight room, it's actually kind of cozy. He has his own fireplace, which is pretty neat, I think. Remember, 1933 here. So green tiles, wooden panel, and the doctors would stay here. And then over here is a what's been converted into an exhibit, and you can see the model of the buildings here. This is the main building right here, and this is the bungalow right here, and we would be approximately right here, I think, or right here, I think. Whoops, better be careful here. All right, so let's take a walk over to the main building. We're walking around it, but now let's go in it.
And you see, must be the same as the one you just introduced. It's exactly the same because in Chinese building structures, it's always balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have this one on this side, you have the other one on that side. It's exactly the same.
You're right. Do you know how we know she's right? Here, come here, look. You see? You see the fireplace. Okay? So that's how you know it's right. We won't go into the rest because this is an active office space right now, okay? But I just had to validate what she said. So she's absolutely right. You have the second fireplace exactly balanced together. We had two doctors, right?
Just like east and west, male and female, yin and yang, me and you, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's continue. I'm standing in front of the bungalow that we explored a little earlier. I'm going to walk down to this end. Come follow me because they got a nice feature here. So you'll see these old doors. Obviously it's unlocked right now, but this used to be a garage. So the doctor or whoever, I'm not even sure, if perhaps an ambulance, but I might be going too far. Then again, after World War II, easily could have stored an ambulance. So these are the garage doors. The space has been converted for today's purpose of education, but this is a pretty decent sized garage. Very nice, very convenient. So say a pregnant mother had to be rushed down in a vehicle or an ambulance. I'm really not sure how that works, but or if there was a vehicle attached to the clinic for that purpose. I just don't know that. So, but anyway, it's turned into a pretty nice room now. No space wasted. And this is now a learning center.
Hector McLean.
Yeah, so it's actually Hector Cole McLean. And in the will of Sir Robert, the trustee is directed to maintain his grave at Happy Valley. And I'm actually named after this gentleman. So my name is Sean McLean Hotung. So Hector McLean is actually a very important person for Sir Robert. Father of Lady Margaret, obviously, and also presented Sir Robert with a significant sum of money to get things going. So there was a very important relationship there.
Hector Cole McLean, born the 17th of November 1836, in Macau, was the son of Alexander Campbell McLean. Alexander was a partner of Jardine Matheson of Hong Kong. From the 1830s to 1850s, he made a vast fortune before returning to England. The McLeans are one of the oldest Highland clans of Scotland and held Durwick Castle while being concentrated in Argyll and the Isles of Mull and Cole. They were renowned as warriors, lords, generals, and knights, and were famous for their honour, strength, and courage in battle. This branch of the McLean can be traced back to the first clan chieftain, Gillen of the Battle Axe in 1211.
The last time I was here, I was with my father, Eric Hotung, and some of the village leaders. And they wanted to see what they could do about preventing this development and ensure that it was an area, a facility, a clinic that was available to the locals. However, a lot of this area was overgrown with weeds. 7 to 10 years later, I'm back here, and I think that what has occurred is actually the right path. We see this area is nice and cleaned up. We see that it's turned into a learning center. Now, I don't want to say that a medical center has been lost, because that's not the case. There's plenty of modern hospitals in the area, so nothing was lost. But what has been gained is that the Lady Hotung Welfare Center is now a learning center, and there's still experiments being conducted with agriculture. In the corner, you'll see it later, is a miniature rice field, and students from all over the area, kindergarten, primary one, secondary school, they all come here and they get the chance to experience how to grow some of these things. Over to my right, there's a experimental agricultural tank where vegetables are being grown through the usage of fish fertilizer, live fish fertilizing. So that's an interesting concept without water. I mean, with only water, without dirt. You walk around, you're going to learn quite a few things. They also teach you, it's not simply teaching about the environment, it's also teaching to appreciate nature, which is a theme that you'll notice that runs through several of my promotions, whether it's Hotung Primary School or here. Nature is just simply very important and underappreciated, I believe. So a third benefit that comes in is that you're simply not teaching about the environment, protecting the environment and nature. You're actually preserving a historical site. So it's always refreshing for me to see a Hotung legacy. Last time we talked about Sir Robert Hotung's legacy in Macau, the library. And here we have Lady Margaret's legacy out here in the new territories that's serving a good purpose and teaching people, helping people in that way. So if you have the time, come by and take a visit. Thank you very much. Cheers.